woman. Okay.
Child.
Child of God.
You better not let that boy.
Half love you.
Hey.
All right.
All right, everyone.
Hello, I'm Natalie. We're back again.
I'm Sam, and we're back to do another video just to kind of conversate about a topic that we've been praying on that we feel led to kind of speak about and to share our hearts, our opinions, and also back it up with some scripture. And this video is called Letting People Half Love You.
Letting people half love you, yes.
So the real question is,
why do we let people half love us? Or better yet, our value. Where is it coming from? Why are we allowing and being okay and settling for people being half in? We know what half in looks like. I mean, we know that when we are allowing people to give just partial time, when we want the whole thing as women, especially as women, like you want direct answers, you want to go into something and know, what's gonna go, what's after this, or you want to ask all these questions, but then you hold back because you think it's too much or I shouldn't, might scare him away. But no, I think that we should be straightforward, especially when it's purposeful and you're trying to please the Lord. You want to know what you're getting yourself into before you even take a step further. But anyways, we have a scripture for what we're going to dig into, and the scripture is
the scripture that fell on our hearts was Proverbs 4:23. And my book says that above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. And we were reading Proverbs a little earlier, and we were discussing about how important it is to watch your eyes and your ears, like how big what comes in will motivate you to what you're going to do.
With Christ, I always stress that because I realized that I was allowing people to half love me and thinking it was okay and thinking that this is a norm because I didn't know my value, I didn't know my worth, I didn't know that Christ loved me the way that he did. I didn't understand that. So when you don't understand that type of love, you accept from anybody that can give you that chunk of whatever it looks like to them. But when we do understand the type of love that Christ has for us, which is perfect, unconditional, radical love, then we're able to have standards, we're able to have respect for ourselves and know when to walk away from certain situations and know when to say no and know when too far has gone too far.
Yeah.
So knowing the love of Christ, for one, is important and is very vital in our walk with Christ, and even in seeking a relationship. It's important to have that as a foundation for self first before you even place it in a situation.
Yeah. So really, like, what are you seeking after, and what are your eyes set on? Is it after love? Because love takes more than just the vibes, like
it does.
It takes way more than that. It takes a friendship. It takes dying to yourself daily. It takes, honestly, forgiving someone, because we're all growing, so it takes more. And so it's kind of like what Proverbs 4:23 is stating again, like is what is your heart set on? You need to guard it because it's going to go after anything that you allow in.
Any desire.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're receiving that bad love, it's because you don't know who you are and you need to go back. But also, if you're giving out that half love, you need to realize the true love of what God's calling love. And you can't sit there and say, like, I'm bringing this or I'm all of this, but you really need to back yourself up with, like, true substance and words and actions, I think, more than anything. Mm-hmm. But I think what's really big is if you're warned, all of Proverbs is saying, like, that he's warning as a person that's been through it to guard yourself, to listen to these things, that he's like, I know you're going to go through it and you're going to experience it for yourself, but I pray and I hope that you listen to these words of wisdom.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have had people speak into your life and you guys wanted to put up the guard and say, like, no, you don't know this person, or you don't know, and kind of push away, and then you get into a situation where it wasn't what it was all planned out to be, because people are looking at it. So you guys need to appreciate those friends that are really big enough to call out those situations and
Yes.
call out your flesh.
Yes.
You know, like those are
Yes.
huge, and those are a part of guarding your heart. You know,
Absolutely.
it is taking the wisdom, but also you need to guard it within what you allow in your heart, what you're seeking, what you're thinking. Like if you want some type of hip hop love or whatever they have on these TV shows, like that's all made up. You know,
It's
it's not real. So it's like, what are you following? So, any last words?
And so, any last words? Let's see.
Ooh, I would say, no. If you're gonna bring something to the table, you need to know what's in your fridge. Before you want to get into a relationship, you need to know what you're holding inside, because you need to know what others are going to offer and bring to your table. So if you don't even know what's in your fridge, how are you going to make something good? Like, you're going to have some nasty stuff in your relationship.
Recipes.
Yeah, you're going to have some nasty food on your plate. So I would say, before you even want to hop into anything, a friendship or even a relationship or anything, you need to know what you're bringing to the table, because it may not be pretty. So
Yes.
we warned you.
We warned you. Also, really quick, 1 John 4:18 says, "Such love has no fear, because perfect love expels all fear." If we are afraid, it is for fear of punishment, and this shows that we have not fully experienced His perfect love. So when we have not experienced God's perfect love, we're living in fear. And oftentimes, what that looks like is we live in fear. We jump into these relationships because we don't want to be alone. We live in fear because we don't even know what love looks like. So we're over here testing the waters with different people, leaving pieces of our heart everywhere.
Yeah.
When like initially, like, your heart is supposed to be for the Lord, and when it's time, when you're blessed with a wife or a husband, though, you shouldn't be giving pieces of your heart to everybody you date. Like, those special pieces should be for your husband or your wife one day. And so I say that to say, and share that scripture to say, that if you're caught up in fear constantly, it's because maybe you just need to sit back, chill out, and study God's love for a minute, and just try to fill yourself up with knowing what your value is, knowing that you were bought with a high price, and knowing that Jesus, when it is a love that comes pure and is sincere and it comes from God, you'll know, because you won't have to question a thing. You won't have to put up a front. You won't have to chase after it. It'll just be there. It'll be sincere. It'll be pure. There won't be no doubts.
And you won't have to kind of lessen your value, but what would be the other word? Compromise.
You won't have to
You
compromise.
won't have to compromise when you know it's really Him.
Yes,
That's a good
absolutely.
one.
That is great.
Yeah. So that's another chat. So I really appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you guys follow us, repost this video.
Please.
Stuff is going to be kind of occurring. We're trying to get these things going a little more often.
Yes.
But we do have a hashtag for it. It's hashtag Let's Chat with Nat and Sam.
Yes.
So we post hashtag.
Dude, that's
so, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and you guys have a great night.
Peace and love.